Welcome back, warriors. It's me, Linda B. Thank you so much for joining me here today. Today, I want to share some information about Alvin Bragg. Yes, that Manhattan DA that's going after, yes, another DA going after former President Donald John Trump. Is coming by way of Stephen A. Gardner, who has his own YouTube channel and is giving some information here, and I'll give my commentary. But before we get started, I want you all to remember to like, comment, share, subscribe. Watch the video all the way to the very end, hit the notification bell. I made my 20,000 subscriber goal for the month of April. Yay. Thank you all so much for your support. It really means a lot to me. You all mean a lot to me. Now, for the month of May, my goal is 30,000 subscribers by the end of May. So, without further ado, let's get into it.
Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg's case against former President Donald Trump is being heavily criticized, with some legal experts calling it a huge mistake. In an opinion piece published in the New York Times, Boston University law professor Jed Sugarman argued that Alvin Bragg's attempt to charge Trump with a federal election crime under New York state law has gone too far. Now, this is coming from the New York Times. Now, according to Professor Sugarman, Bragg's accusation against Trump lacked clarity and doesn't specifically say which crimes Donald Trump is being charged for. Now, Trump is facing 34 charges related to falsifying business records, specifically in connection to payments made to adult film actress Stormy Daniels in 2016. Professor Sugarman suggested that Alvin Bragg's should instead focus more on the cover-up rather than the alleged crime. However, Alvin Bragg believes the humiliation of Trump and Melania would get better traction than was this recorded on business records correctly.
What do you all think? So Alvin Bragg wants to make this very salacious, the porn star aspect of it and how that makes, Melania feel. He's really, more than falsifying of the records, we're talking about something personal that really has to do with Donald Trump and his wife. So that's where Alvin appears to be going, allegedly. And I've told y'all before, the Democrats know how to play that race game. All the people that are going after Donald Trump, I'm sure you've noticed that they are Black, because they love to use us to go after someone who's actually trying to do the right thing. That's been their MO this whole time. Use us to hurt us. That's the Democratic Party that never switched.
Now, Sugarman pointed out that many of the records in question were created before Trump even filed his financial reports with the Federal Election Commission, suggesting Trump wasn't trying to cover something out. So the fact that this was all done before the Federal Election Commission financial report deadline suggests Donald Trump wasn't, in fact, trying to mislead the public. However, Professor Sugarman noted that there were some major problems with DA Alvin Bragg's approach. He highlighted three main issues. Number one, there was no precedent for a state prosecutor to use federal election law in a case like this, which Sugarman describes as overreaching with the law. Second, the prosecutor failed to cite any previous cases involving the specific criminal statutes they were relying on. And lastly, the interpretation of the law in New York didn't support the idea that Donald Trump was defrauding the American public. So, no precedents to make a misdemeanor a felony, no similar cases to point towards, and no defrauding of the American public to win.
Oh Lord, this is all election interference. Whatever they're trying to say on, with Alvin Bragg, whatever the people in New York are saying, this is really just they really know already that they don't really have a case. They know this. This is just done to keep Donald Trump in court, to deplete him of finances, to keep him too busy in court to campaign. That's it. hoping that people will look at this and go, well, he's got 4 indictments and 91 charges. I don't want to vote for a person like that, not realizing that the law can be weaponized against someone who really doesn't deserve it, but who is really for the people and not to pad their own pockets. Donald Trump came into that, left the political office of president less rich. He left poorer. He didn't really take a salary. All the other ones are part of the deep, not all of the other ones, but a lot of the other ones in DC are part of the deep state where they pad their pockets and they're not looking out for us and they don't deserve our votes. So if people want to continue to do things to go downhill in their lives, if they got some sick kind of thing going on in their head where they like high gas prices, food prices, and high crime and illegal immigrants coming across the border, well, have at it. But some of us had our heads screwed on tightly. Okay. So all of these things, no legal precedent, and making it out to be something more than what it is. Do now this whole Stormy Daniels thing. Yes, he had a little situation going on, what appears to be a situation going on with a porn star, a former porn star. That is personal. That's between him and his wife. That is not anything to do with politics as how he runs the country, because we saw how he ran the country. So we need, if they would just leave the man alone, we could benefit greatly from him or someone like him being in office. But the powers that be, oh Lord, that deep state, the swamp does not want to be drained.
Now, contrast that with Biden's situation, where 51 former CIA and intelligence agents lied to the American public to cover up the Hunter Biden laptop story and all of the nasty filth that was on it. And 19% of Americans said if they had known about that garbage laptop and the CIA cover up, they would not have voted for Biden. So again, you have two presidents doing something similar, and only one of them is being prosecuted. Now, Professor Sugarman suggested, or questioned rather, whether Alvin Bragg's case was more about politics than actual sound law, suggesting that it might be motivated by other factors. The fact that he is put in place by George Soros, the fact that you have all of the Democrats colluding behind the scenes to get Donald Trump, and much, much more. Now, Sugarman concluded that the case raised serious concerns about prosecutorial ethics and selective prosecution. Even if Trump is convicted, Professor Sugarman believes that he could win on appeal if the prosecutor continues to rely on weak legal arguments and exaggerated allegations. Now, the number one thing that they're probably going to be able to prove is that this is selective prosecution. Never before has this been done, so there's no precedent. And there's also, it's pretty evident that this is selective prosecution. Now, the other issue that Alvin Braggs is running into with the Stormy Daniels case is Miss Daniels signed an affidavit that she never slept with Donald Trump. Also, Trump's former attorney, Michael Cohen's, admitted he lied under oath, which is why he was put in jail. Also, it showed that Donald Trump paid him $420,000 in legal fees. With that $420,000, Michael Cohen's decided to reimburse himself $130,000. So there is no actual paper trail of Donald Trump directly paying Michael Cohen's to buy off the story of Stormy Daniels. Okay. But there's even more with District Attorney Alvin Braggs. He is asking Judge Merchan to jail Donald Trump because Trump has broken his gag order 10 different times. Now, Judge Merchan is super hesitant to actually jail the former president because of the amount of media attention this case is getting. Instead, he wants to fine Donald Trump $1,000 per Truth Social media post. However, Trump's lawyers have argued Donald isn't talking about the case. He's defending himself against the mainstream media and the haters like any normal person would do. Now, regarding the gag order Donald Trump wrote, the gag order imposed on me, a political candidate running for the highest office in the land, is totally unconstitutional. Nothing like this has ever happened before. The conflicted judge's friends and party members can say whatever they want about me, but I'm not allowed to respond. The trial is rigged and should never have been allowed to take place on a charge that virtually every legal scholar and expert says is bogus. There is
Bogus. Bogus. It is bogus. The fact that Stormy Daniels signed an affidavit stating that she did not sleep with Donald Trump. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. This is the first time I'm hearing this. Did you all know about that? That she had signed an affidavit stating that she did not sleep with Donald Trump and that Michael Cohen had lied. Well, I knew about that. And then he was in prison for lying. Oof. The deep state wants to hold on to power just that bad. What else are they going to do? Let the man run 4 years. And if people vote for a person, he gets the most votes, as far as electoral college votes, then he should be president. Stop getting in the way. Just stop getting in the way. See, if y'all hadn't been dirty, so in the first place, you wouldn't have to worry about Donald Trump coming after you to drain the swamp, but y'all was so swampy. Now you scared he gonna do to you what you're trying to do to him, but except he didn't do anything like you claim. Y'all dirty.
no crime. This is a political witch hunt. This is election interference. Now, as Donald Trump sits in court day after day after day, President Joe Biden is hitting the campaign trail hard. However, his speeches are pulling in very, very low attendance. At one event, the person introducing Biden said, Biden is going to take back Florida. Now, all the news stations kept very tight camera angles on her and on President Biden. However, the Fox News cameraman panned back, revealing that there were only about 25 people in the entire event.
Whoa, that's very low. And this is going into Joe Biden, and I'm not interested in covering anything that's really got to go on with him. I'm more interested in what's happened with the former president, Donald John Trump. And you all give me your comments. We all know it's election interference. We all know that. We know that this is just a way to get in the way of Donald Trump winning, but he's still soaring in the polls. He's still soaring. 5 polls, according to Stephen A. Smith. He's soaring. And people should be able to see that historically, even since biblical times, the person that is telling the truth and the powers that be that want that person to be quiet, that person is typically jailed. Lawfare is used against that person. We have seen it since biblical times. We've seen it during the civil rights movement. Anybody that is bold enough to speak truth, the powers that be that start shaking in their boots and they start coming after them with bogus charges. That's just how it's always been done. You all give me your comments. Tell me what you think. Thank you all so much for watching me thus far. Thank you so much for your support. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell. I want you all to be blessed. Have a great weekend. And as I always say, march on, warriors.